All right, the court is calling cause number 2007 AG 2066. This is a hearing on a motion to modify and to confirm child support arrearage. The parties in this case are Victor Martinez and Blanca Gallegos. Let the record reflect that this matter was scheduled for a final hearing today, July 16th at 8 o'clock. It is now 8:30. Mr. Martinez is present with counsel, Mr. Enrique Lopez. However, the custodial parent, Ms. Blanca Gallegos, has not called in or signed in or made an appearance otherwise today. Before we get started, I do have some preliminary matters that I need to raise to the parties. My name is Antonio Rodriguez. I am the Associate Judge for the Title 4D Court here in El Paso, Texas. We are proceeding at this time on the basis of a Zoom application, since we cannot appear in court because of the pandemic crisis that's going on. However, the courts have allowed us to conduct these Zoom hearings. And I would remind parties that we are as in appearing in court, and I would ask parties to conduct themselves accordingly as if you were in court. I'm going to ask parties not to talk over each other, one person talking at one time. That because sometimes the audio functions don't work very well, and you may get logged out inadvertently. In a few minutes, I'm going to ask the attorneys to make an announcement of ready or not ready. At this time, I will indicate that as of right now, 8:33, Ms. Blanca Gallegos has not signed in. The record should reflect that at a previous hearing that we had, she was present. And at that time, the court rescheduled this matter for today for the purposes of securing an interpreter for Mr. Martinez. So she was present at the last time, so she knew about this hearing for today. Mr. Cargas, are you going to be presenting the case, or Mr. Cano?
It'll be me, Judge.
All right, okay, if I can have you make an announcement on this case, sir.
John Hargis for the Attorney General, Child Support Division, present and ready to proceed.
Okay, Mr. Lopez.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, everybody. Enrique Lopez on behalf of Mr. Victor Martinez. We're ready to proceed, Your Honor.
All right, okay.
Your Honor, let me just catch him up on just a quick summary.
Yes, sir.
Estamos hablando de la presentación del caso en el que los abogados ya se presentaron y a quienes representan ellos. Lo estamos haciendo por Zoom, obviamente por lo de la pandemia. Los dos licenciados están aquí, el licenciado suyo, el señor López. El juez se presentó como Antonio Rodríguez, y luego también deben de comportarse como si estuviéramos en una sala de audiencia en persona. No tratar de hablar los dos al mismo tiempo, más de una persona al mismo tiempo, se puede cortar la comunicación. Entonces tenemos que presentar si estamos listos o no para continuar. La vez pasada la señora estuvo presente, así que ella ya sabía que teníamos esta audiencia, ya son las 8:33 y ella no está presente. Ok, podemos continuar.
All right, if I can have Mr. Victor Martinez, would you please raise your right hand, sir, so I can swear you in?
Por favor, levante la mano para su juramento. Gracias.
Sir, do you swear or affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help God?
¿Usted jura o afirma que el testimonio que va a presentar es la verdad, toda la verdad y nada más que la verdad bajo el amparo de Dios?
Afirmo que voy a decir la verdad.
Yes, I do. I'm going to say the truth.
Thank you,
Puede
sir.
bajar la mano, señor.
Lower your hand. All right, Mr. Hargis, this is a motion filed by the Attorney General. Go ahead, sir.
Your Honor, the state asks the court to take judicial notice of the waiver of service on file as of 2/6/20, signed by Ms. Blanca Gallegos. Waiver of service of process in the court's file.
Él dice que quiere que tome reconocimiento judicial de la renuncia de notificación que tiene firmada desde el día 6 de febrero del 2020, que la firmó la señora Blanca Gallegos.
All right, I do see the waiver of waiver of service that's on file that was signed by Ms. Gallegos back in February of this year. I will take judicial notice of her waiver of service.
Sí voy a tomar reconocimiento judicial de esa renuncia de notificación.
Go ahead, Mr. Hargis.
Your Honor, the state asks the court to take judicial notice of the prior order entitled Order in Suit for Modification of Support Order and to confirm arrearage. It was signed on March 22nd, 2018, setting child support in the amount of $938, beginning on April 1st, 2018. And also it set medical support in the amount of $316, beginning April 1st, 2018, also with a non-disclosure for the custodial parent.
Okay. As he was breaking up, I didn't quite get the amounts. Le está pidiendo que tome reconocimiento judicial de la orden previa de la modificación y de los atrasos, reconocimiento de la modificación de los atrasos desde el 22 de marzo del 2018 y dio las cantidades 938, I believe it was, y se iban a poner en efecto para el 1 de abril del 2018. I didn't catch the medical.
I think the medical support was set at $316 a month.
Y lo del pago para la cobertura médica del gobierno de $316 al mes.
Mr. Lopez, any objection to the court taking notice of that order?
No, Your Honor.
All right, the court will take judicial notice of the 2018 court order in this case.
Ok, va a tomar reconocimiento judicial de esa orden del 2018 para este caso.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Hargis.
Okay, Judge, at this time, the state offers what has been marked for identification purposes as state's exhibit number 1, an updated payment record in this case. We had screen share, no, screen share available. Judge, could I submit this to via email?
Yes, sir, you can send it to me by email. Have you already sent it to Mr. Lopez? Was that last time?
We did discuss it in the breakout room.
Okay, Mr. Lopez?
I don't have any objection, Your Honor.
All right, once the court receives the updated financial report, I will admit that financial report.
Okay, the state calls Mr. Martinez.
El juez va a aceptar como prueba los pagos actualizados hasta este momento. Se le va a mandar por correo electrónico al juez. Ahora el interrogatorio es hacia usted, señor Martínez.
All right, yes, Mr. Hargis, if you can just wait for the interpreter to interpret for Mr. Martinez before we move on to another question. All right, go ahead, Mr. Hargis.
Please state your full name for the court.
Por favor, diga su nombre completo para el juez.
¿Sí?
Si lo
Víctor
oye
Martínez.
Okay, si lo oye en español es para usted, ¿ok?
Víctor Martínez.
Víctor Martínez.
What's the name of your child?
¿Cómo se llama su hijo o hija?
Blanca Victoria Martínez.
Blanca Victoria Martínez.
And what's her date of birth?
¿Cuál es la fecha de nacimiento de ella?
Ella nació el 17 de 16 o 17 de diciembre. ¿Qué será? Como no tengo nunca he tenido casi contacto con ella, ni la fecha de su nacimiento.
She was born on the 16th or 17th of December, and since I don't have that much contact with her, I don't even know her birthday.
Did you reach out to the Child Support Division a few months back?
¿Se comunicó usted con la División de Pensiones Alimenticias hace tiempo?
Pues nomás yo lo que le he mirado a ella cuando hemos ido a corte, yo no tengo contacto con la niña, yo no tengo contacto con ella. Yo nomás mis pagos de child support que doy es todo.
I don't think he understood the question. I think I think if you say the Office of the Attorney General, I think he would probably understand that.
Okay, I think I agree. Mr. Vargas, if you can rephrase the question so that Mr. Martinez can understand it.
Le vamos a hacer la pregunta de otra manera, señor.
Go ahead.
Mr. Martinez, did you reach out to the Attorney General Child Support Office a few months back?
Hace algunos meses se comunicó usted con la Procuraduría General del Condado en la sección de la pensión alimenticia. ¿Se comunicó usted con ellos?
Yo fui en octubre a meter una aplicación para que me rebajaran el pago porque ya, a partir de octubre yo ya no gané la cantidad que yo ganaba.
In October, I went so I could apply so they can lower my payments because after October, I was not getting paid what I was getting paid before.
What happened to your job?
¿Qué le pasó al trabajo?
A partir de ahí yo empecé a ganar 40 horas nomás, absolutamente nomás 40 horas. Yo trabajaba 70 horas. A partir de octubre mis cheques fueron de 40 horas nomás.
I started getting just 40 hours. Before that, I was getting up to 70 hours, but then after that, I've been getting paid for just 40 hours.
Are you still working where you were working in March of 2018?
¿Usted sigue trabajando en el mismo lugar donde trabajaba en marzo del 2018?
No, señor. Yo en enero dejé de trabajar para la compañía que yo trabajaba. En marzo entró un trabajo que tenía 2 meses trabajando y por la pandemia me desocupan. A partir de abril no he trabajado, hasta apenas tengo un cheque, tengo una semana trabajando. Aquí tengo el cheque que saqué ya que agarré trabajo aquí en El Paso.
No, in January, I left the company that I was with. By March, I was working on a new job. And because of this, the pandemic, I had been there for 2 months. So I was not working all the way until April. I've been working on this job for 1 week. And I have right here is my paycheck stub for that 1 week. That's where I was able to find job here in El Paso.
Okay, at this new job, how many hours a week do you work?
En este trabajo nuevo, ¿cuántas horas a la semana trabaja?
Me van a dar 40 horas de trabajo a 8 horas la hora.
They're going to give me 40 hours of work, $8 an hour.
When does that start?
¿Para cuándo empieza ese trabajo?
Ya empecé, ya tengo una semana trabajando con él.
It already started. I've been working there for a week
Tengo una
now.
semana y esta semana, ya tengo esta semana también trabajando. O sea,
I have 1 week in and whatever goes of this week in already.
Okay. Do you have any other income?
¿Tiene usted alguna otra fuente de ingresos?
no, señor.
No, sir.
Do you have any other children?
¿Tiene usted algún otro hijo?
No, señor.
No, sir.
Do you have health insurance available through your employer for your children or for your child?
¿Tiene usted seguro médico disponible para ponérselo a los niños ahí por medio de su empleo?
No, señor.
No,
No
sir.
tengo ni para mí.
I don't even have that for me.
Do you have health insurance available for your child through another source available to you, like a current spouse?
¿Tiene usted algún otro seguro médico que esté disponible a usted de alguna otra fuente, digamos como una esposa nueva o algo así?
Negativo, señor.
No, sir.
Oh, what kind of health insurance does the child have?
¿Qué tipo de seguro médico tiene la niña?
Al que le da el gobierno.
The one that she gets from the government.
Okay. Judge, no further questions.
All right. Mr. Lopez, any questions?
No, Your Honor, I think Mr. Hargis did a very good job.
No hay preguntas, hemos concluido con el interrogatorio.
All right. Mr. Hargis, any other evidence or testimony?
Judge, that's it. The state rests, subject to a brief close.
Mr. Lopez?
No questions, Your Honor. We rested.
Okay.
No evidence.
Ya no hay más preguntas, ni tampoco testimonio que presentar, ni tampoco elementos de prueba, solamente las conclusiones y alegatos de los abogados.
All right, I do have a question for Mr. Martinez.
El juez sí tiene una pregunta para usted, señor Martínez.
Sígame, señor juez.
Mr. Martinez,
Yes.
what is the name of your employer?
¿Cómo se llama el lugar donde usted trabaja?
Se llama MKA Transport. MKA Transportation.
MKA Transportation.
Okay. And your testimony is that you're going to be working 40 hours a week?
Su testimonio es que
señor.
usted va a trabajar 40 horas.
Sí, señor.
Yes, sir.
And your rate of pay is $8 an hour?
Y le van a pagar a $8 la hora.
Me están pagando 8 horas la hora, sí, señor.
They're paying me $8 an hour. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so it's $8 even, not $8.25 or $8.50 or
Entonces,
anything.
son $8 cerrados, no
Sí,
8.25.
no me quitan impuestos ni nada. Me está dando el cheque, así me está dando los 320 dólares.
No, I mean, they don't take anything from my check. They're just giving me to me like that, those $320 like that.
All right, thank you, sir. I have no further questions.
Okay, gracias, señor.
Gracias a usted.
Any other questions on the areas the court touched upon with Mr. Martinez?
Not from us, Your Honor. Thank you.
Hargis?
Judge, can I ask him like a couple more questions?
Yes, sir. Go
Tengo un
ahead.
par de preguntas más.
Mr. Martinez, how much were you earning at your other job back in March of 2018?
Señor Martínez, ¿cuánto ganaba usted en ese otro trabajo que usted tenía en marzo del 2018?
Oh, yo ganaba como 1,800 por semana.
Well, I was earning about $1,800 a week.
1,500, 1,600, variaba.
I was earning, $1,500, $1,600. It would vary.
And now you're earning less per month than what
Yeah.
you were earning per week back then?
Y ahora gana menos por mes como le pagan ahora a la semana.
No hay trabajo, es lo único que conseguí. No, en el de aceite no me han hablado. Yo trabajo en el aceite. En el aceite se gana
Yes.
muy buen dinero. Aquí no hay trabajo.
Yes, that's where I'm working at, and I mean, that's the job that I found. They haven't called me back from the oil fields. The oil fields is where I work. That's where they pay very well, but they haven't called me back from the oil fields.
Why did you leave that job that paid so well?
¿Por qué dejó ese trabajo que pagaba tan bien?
No, la compañía bajó a 40 horas y yo busqué trabajo y encontré otro trabajo ahí en Monahans, Texas. Me pagaban un poquito más, trabajaba 50 horas, pero desgraciadamente se acabó por la pandemia.
That company lowered my hours to 40 hours a week. Then I went and looked for another job that was giving me 50 hours a week in Monahans, Texas. But then that job ended because of the pandemic.
So you left that job involuntarily?
Entonces usted dejó ese trabajo involuntariamente, o sea, no fue voluntad suya dejar el trabajo ese.
Yo vine al Paso y ahí hay una nota donde yo no podía volver por la pandemia. Estaba prohibido volver yo hasta nuevo aviso. Hasta nuevo aviso.
No le entendí,
¿Entendió?
señor. No,
¿Entendió?
no le entendí.
Yo vine al Paso, agarré mis días de descanso y ya no me dejaron volver para atrás a la compañía.
I came to El Paso on my days off, but then they didn't allow me because of the pandemic. They didn't allow me to go back to the company.
Saying they cut his hours at the job in the Monahans?
Entonces, ¿le rebajaron las horas ahí en Monahans?
Las horas, o sea, ya nomás trabajé, en 15 días trabajé 9 horas y media, en 15 días trabajé 9 horas y media. Yo me vine a mi casa a descansar y ya no me dejaron regresar.
Okay, in 2 weeks, I only worked for 9.5 hours. So I came home to rest, and then they didn't allow me to come back.
What was the name of that employer?
¿Cómo se llamaba ese lugar donde estaba trabajando en Monaghan?
NNB, NNB World Services.
NNB Well Services.
Sí, señor.
What did you do there?
¿Y a qué se dedicaba ahí?
Era truck driver.
Truck driver?
Sí, señor.
I was a truck
What do you
driver.
do? What do you do at this job you have now?
¿Y a qué se dedica en este empleo que tiene usted ahora?
Es una compañía de trocas, pero yo ahorita ando llevándole, dando piezas a la compañía, va a empezar, ahorita yo ando llevando partes están reparando trocas, yo estoy llevando partes para que reparen las trocas.
That's a trucking company, and I am taking auto parts so they can repair the trucks. And the company has not started yet.
Okay. Judge, no further questions.
All right, Mr. Lopez, any questions?
No, Your Honor. Just for information purposes, we did send a letter to the AG that stated from NNB Well Services, dated March 24, 2020, where he is being laid off due to the pandemic and that he will be notified if and when they return back to work. The AG should have a copy of that letter.
Su abogado dice que le envió una carta a la Procuraduría General diciéndoles que a usted lo habían desempleado por el hecho de la pandemia,
Sí,
con fecha del 29 de marzo. Entonces que ya la Fiscalía, la Procuraduría ya debe de tener esa carta ahí.
Mr. Lopez, will you are you tendering that document into evidence at this time?
Yes, Your Honor, and I'll be sending it to the court.
Okay, very well. All right, anything else, Mr. Lopez?
Nothing further from us, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
Okay, Mr. Hargis, anything else?
No, Your Honor, just state rest subject to a brief close and recommendation.
All right, one other follow-up question to Mr. Martinez. Mr. Martinez, since you were not clear, or you couldn't testify as to the age of the child, I want the record to reflect that according to the that was filed, give me a minute, I'm bringing it up on my Odyssey, it's working real slow. Your daughter, Blanca Victoria, was born on December 17th in the year 2002. So in December of this year, she will be 18 years of age. Mr. Martinez, do you know if your daughter has graduated from high school or do you know if she's attending high school?
Señor, ya que usted tenía dificultad para decirnos la edad de la niña, y fijándome aquí en la promoción que presentaron, ella tiene fecha de nacimiento del 17 de diciembre del 2002. Así que ella va a cumplir 18 años ahora para este diciembre.
Sí,
¿Sabe usted si ella ya se graduó de la high school, de la preparatoria, si ya se graduó?
creo
¿O si
ya
sigue en la
graduó.
escuela?
Ya graduó ella, este año graduó.
She graduated this year.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Okay, gracias, señor.
All right, what is the state's recommendation on this matter?
The state recommends the court find that there has been a material and substantial change in the circumstances since the last order was rendered in March of 2018 based on his job circumstances, and he's making significantly less wages. Based on those circumstances and what his testimony is on his new income, the state recommends a child support payment of $288 and $288 a month with a medical support payment of $57 a month to reimburse the state. Both of those payments beginning on August 1st, 2020. And to confirm the child support arrears amount as of June 30th, 2020, child support arrears is $4,559.23. And to set up a payment plan to pay off those arrearages in the amount of $73 a month beginning August 1st, 2020. And finally confirm the medical support arrears as of June 30th, 2020, in an amount of $1,279.80, and take a judgment against Mr. Martinez amount and set up a payment plan of $56 a month beginning August 1st, 2020, and to continue the non-disclosure of her personal information address for Ms. Blanca Gallegos.
Ok, esta es la recomendación del abogado del Estado, en que note el juez que admita que sí hubo algún cambio en sus circunstancias que son importantes desde la última promoción del día de marzo del 2018 y que por el testimonio que usted presentó y el cambio que hubo en sus ingresos, ahora le está sugiriendo al juez que el pago sea de 288 al mes y para reembolsarle al Estado del seguro médico de $57 al mes. También revisó en los atrasos y en esos atrasos hasta el 1 de junio eran de $4,559 lo que debía. Entonces, por un plan de pago sería de $73 al mes más. Ahora, por el reembolso para el Estado, por esos atrasos serían de $56 al mes también.
Judge, I'm sorry, I could not read my own handwriting. Actually, instead of 288, the state is recommending $238 a month on the child support, on the current child support amount.
Está confirmando la cantidad de $238 al mes. Es lo que está sugiriendo de pagos mensuales de pensión alimenticia.
All right, Mr. Lopez,
No objections, Your Honor, and we request that the court adopt the recommendations of the Attorney General.
okay, all right.
Okay. Su abogado también pide que acepte estas recomendaciones del gobierno.
¿Correcto? ¿Acepto?
All right, based on the testimony and evidence before the court does find that there has been substantial and material changes since the last order. And based on Mr. Martinez's current income, the child support will be modified as recommended, $238 a month in child support and $57 a month in the medical support for the child. It will confirm the child support arrearages. Mr. Hargis, if you can correct me, I have $4,559.23 on child support arrears
That is correct, Your Honor.
as of June 30th.
Yes, Your Honor.
And the recommendation is $73, an additional $73 on the child support arrearage. And medical support arrears, $1,279.80. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And you recommend a payment of $56 a month?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All these new payments were to commence on August the 1st? August 1st, 2020. The court had previously ordered a non-disclosure, so that non-disclosure will continue as previously ordered. All these new payments commence on August 1st. Mr. Martinez pay all child support, medical support payments, and all the other payments through the registry of the court. In other words, do not pay Ms. Gallegos directly because you will not receive credit for any direct payments. That's a standard order in every case. All right, is there anything else in this case, Mr. Hargis?
No, Your Honor.
Mr.
Nothing
Lopez?
from us, Your Honor. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.
All right,
Thank you,
well,
Judge.
I do appreciate you all working out this matter, having this matter testified, and Mr. Cifuentes, as always, I appreciate your assistance in this case.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Hargis, will you prepare the order? Mr. Lopez, do you want to review the order before I sign it, or can I go ahead and sign it based on my ruling today?
You can sign it based on your ruling, Judge.
Okay, All right, I usually ask that of the council to make sure, they want to review the order before I sign it. So Mr. Hargis, if you can go ahead and prepare the order, send it to me through that document. Once I receive it, I will sign it. It will be filed with the clerk's office. Copies will be sent to Mr. Lopez for on behalf of your client, and copies sent to Ms. Gallegos. Okay. All right, that will conclude our hearing for today. I appreciate everybody's patience and understanding and cooperation in this matter. Everybody be safe. Hopefully we'll get through this pandemic crisis soon. All right, that concludes our hearing. Parties are excused. Thank you all very much.
Okay. Se levanta la
Thank you,
sesión,
Honor.
señor. Puede hablar con su abogado para más detalles, ¿ok? Ok,
Esperemos
muchas
un
Muchas
ratito,
gracias.
Mr.
Sí,
Ok,
señor.
gracias. Que les vaya bien.
Gracias. Hasta luego.
Gracias, muy amable.
Thank you.